Coming right up, a special edition of Straight Talk on Independence at Home, part of SCAN Health Plan. Our guest tonight, Denise Likar, Vice President of Independence at Home, as we continue our 24th anniversary year.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by the Port of Long Beach, a leader in international trade and environmental stewardship. And the Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years. And SCAN Health Plan, for your health and independence.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. We have a great show for you tonight on Independence at Home. Our guest for the entire show is Denise Likar, who's the Vice President of Independence at Home. Welcome to Straight Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. SCAN Health Plan was founded in 1977 right here in Long Beach, and Independence at Home is part of SCAN, and it's consistent with their mission of keeping seniors healthy and independent. What an exciting company to work for where that's your mission.
It is. It's always wonderful to be with a company that has something at its core that to be able to provide service to the community.
Now, SCAN is a Medicare Advantage plan, and they cater, of course, to their members, but Independence at Home caters to non-members, to people in the community who are elderly or disabled or caregivers.
Correct. So we're the hidden secret, if you will, of the larger organization, but we're actually the founding cornerstone of it, where we provide to the community at large all of the pieces needed to be able to remain healthy and independent in the community.
And we're all getting there. Sooner or later, we'll be seniors, God willing.
Every single day, we're a day older.
We are. And I know when Chris Wing was on earlier in the year, he told us of how he went to the board and talked about Independence at Home, and they voted $5 million to support your operation.
Yes, it's been a whirlwind 2 years since that happened, where the board said, yes, let's do more, not just in Los Angeles County, but in all the counties where SCAN is serving seniors, and bring more services that bring that safety net together for them as they try to stay in the community and at home.
So basically you provide in-home assistance to seniors, disabled adults, and also you help the caregivers that sometimes need some help.
Correct. Our staff spend 80% of the time in the homes and in the communities of the seniors and the caregivers. Caregivers are enormously important to the safety net for anybody.
These can be relatives, close friends, neighbors.
Absolutely. Sometimes nieces, nephews. I mean, it goes down the line because not everybody has got a traditional family in place. And so the family is as they define it, and they could be all pitching in to help that person be safe and at home.
And the goal, of course, and this is not to belabor the obvious, but you want to keep people out of nursing homes at all possible costs.
Well, do you want to be in a nursing home, Art?
No one wants to be.
Exactly. So, and unfortunately, though, when you're poor and you're reliant on something like Medi-Cal and you have very low income, sometimes that's the only option presented to you. But our services are another option so that you can stay at home.
And the cost to the whole system has to be less if you're keeping someone. I mean, aside from the benefit to the elderly person who has a higher quality of life at home than in a nursing home, the cost to the system, I mean, what does a nursing home cost per month? It's thousands and thousands of dollars.
So the bench rate for a nursing home is over $3,000 per month. And, you know, it's a couple $100s to provide staffing and support per person to be able to bring that world together for them.
So you put together a team of social workers and nurses and volunteers.
Correct.
To provide these services.
Yes, so we started providing the in-depth in-home care management with one of the first nursing home diversion contracts in the state of California. And then we've built out the rest of the safety net because every person doesn't need the exact same help. So we have every complement on our team to be able to meet that person at their need level.
So it really makes so much sense. It's saving a lot of money to the state and the government. And it's improving the quality of life to the recipients.
Absolutely, it's win-win, and the staff and the volunteers that they do this work because they have a passion for helping others. And so there's a win-win even there for the staff and the volunteers because they're fulfilled.
Well, your passion just jumps out. And you can see that. And let's see one of your, I can't say satisfied users, but one of your clients who had some, Zelda, I think her name is, who had some nice things to say about the services she was getting.
Yes.
It's vital that I have this to keep me on top and keep me going and keep me alive. You know, I could just sit here and stagnate, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to stagnate. I want to keep going. I want to keep learning. I want to keep enjoying life as long as God lets me live.
So Zelda appreciates, obviously, that it improves her life quality.
Absolutely. We've been with Zelda for several years now, and she doesn't have a lot of family support. She has lived here in this area most of her life. And just like most people, when her health started to change and her situation started to change, we don't necessarily expect it and didn't know where to turn. And she found her way to our program, and our staff have wrapped around her and able to support her so that she can continue to thrive in the community.
And I was struck by something she said. She said she just didn't want to live where people all day long are telling her what to do. She wanted to have some of her own dignity. You
know, her very first request to us was, please help me not have to be in a nursing home. Please help me not have to give up all of my independence. There's got to be a way.
Yeah, amen to that. Okay, in the next segment, we're going to focus on something quite fascinating. It's called the Trading Ages Program. Give you the opportunity to see what it might be like to be elderly with impaired vision, hearing, and dexterity. Stay with us.
At the Port of Long Beach, we're not only delivering jobs, smart ideas, and forward-thinking environmental initiatives. We're also delivering opportunity for all of Southern California. Oh, and a clearer horizon line. To learn more, go to POLB.com. The Port of Long Beach, thinking outside the docks.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
We're back continuing a conversation with Denise Likar, Vice President of Independence at Home. What are some of the other health and wellness programs that Independence at Home engages in?
So as part of the expansion that we talked about earlier, we were really able to build out along the continuum of care more services to meet the seniors really where they're at. So if you think of a continuum of healthy, active, independent, down to more dependent, there's a whole array of needs that people will need along that way. And so through health and wellness, what we've been able to do is build out things like educational programs, screening programs that we take out to the community, to the senior buildings, to the health fairs, to the residential buildings where they live, in order to bring them more information to help them be able to live independently in the community.
And again, this is not to members of SCAN, but this is to just members of the community through this generous contribution of SCAN to the health and welfare of the community, and not just in Long Beach, but in neighboring communities as well.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the fascinating programs is Trading Ages, and this is to give you a taste of what it's like to be a senior, and hopefully we will reach that age. And one of the things that happens as many people get older is that they lose some of their eyesight. And so these glasses are reminiscent of 1950s 3D movies, kind of replicate what it's like to have cataracts.
Correct. What do you see, Art?
I see parts of you, and then parts are blocked out, and it really creates a sense of what it might be like with impaired vision, and also to help you folks at home fully experience the impact of this show. We're losing the focus on the camera, and you can see what it would be like to try and watch it without the clear vision.
This is the most common eye condition that seniors encounter. It's actually the most treatable as well, but most people don't seek out diagnosis and treatment because they figure, I'm getting older, this just must be the way it is.
And it makes it difficult to distinguish between yellow pills and blue pills and all that, and so it can lead to some medical situations.
Absolutely.
Also, hearing is affected in some seniors, and here are earplugs reminiscent of what we wear at the Grand Prix that lessen our hearing, and then all of a sudden,
absolutely, people can't.
What do you say?
Not at all.
So you get the idea when you can't hear as clearly. And finally, loss of dexterity with arthritis conditions replicated by gloves. It makes it more difficult.
Absolutely. So joint disorders, arthritis, all impact a lot of times that ability to be able to grasp, be able to separate, but even trying to take the lid off of a pill bottle.
See, it doesn't come off when you, it's more difficult to open it.
Absolutely, and especially if that's your medication that you need to take.
And so this program is available to your organization. If you call up the number, we'll put it up on the screen now, for Trading Ages. You can bring volunteers or staff that will make this demonstration.
And we'll curtail it to your needs. So if it's a professional staff that actually is doing care of seniors, we can tailor the presentation to them. If it's people that just interact with seniors or need more awareness, we can tailor it to fit the needs of an organization.
And so there's no cost to the organization to have this program. So
None
take
at all.
advantage of it if you think it would be valuable to you guys. Now, I know that Thanksgiving is coming around the corner, and you have a special program on Thanksgiving.
Yes, we have an annual Thanksgiving meal delivery program that we do here in the local community. We have over 1,000 volunteers that deliver over
Wow.
2,000 meals every Thanksgiving morning. And we deliver them to seniors who are homebound and have no other means and most likely no one else to celebrate the holiday with.
Well, that's wonderful. Let's take a look at a recent Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. We have a full meal for you here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
From Volunteer Action and Aging and Independence at Home.
Thank you very much. I've had this now for several years.
Have you really?
Yeah, and the lunch is very good.
Well, can we visit with you for a few
Oh, yeah,
minutes?
sit down. Sit
All
down,
right.
sorry. My best Thanksgiving was when I was growing up as a child at home. But I'm really enjoying talking to you. I really am, because a lot of
Okay.
times I don't get a chance to get stuff off my chest. I don't.
Happy
Thank you
Thanksgiving,
very much.
Ethel.
A wonderful program, and you can see from the clip the importance of the interaction. It's not just the meal, it's the interaction between the volunteers delivering the meal and the senior.
Absolutely. So think about a holiday like Thanksgiving, being socially isolated and all alone. No one wants to be that way, and we've really catered this program to be able to bring together volunteers who want to give the holiday cheer and spend that time. And as you saw in the video, she didn't want to take over their time, but as soon as they offered, she took them up on it.
Exactly. And that leads to I think a really profoundly important point, and that is it's not just the benefit to the senior, but it's the benefit and the impact to the volunteer. Talk about that.
Absolutely. This program has become an integral part of many families' Thanksgiving tradition. We have lots of families that have been doing this for 10 plus, and a couple that have been doing it for over 20 years, and that they come every single year. Their Thanksgiving morning starts with us, starts with going out and delivering meals and socializing. And it's phenomenal because what we've been able to do is watch children grow up, get married, and bring their own families to do it.
That is wonderful. And it reminds me, there's some restaurants in town that do serve Thanksgiving meals. Legends started it, and then it moved to Mum's, and now it's at the Reef, among other restaurants. And we've been going for 15 years. And the owners of the Reef, they have generations of kids that have done it in their families. And it's a very moving experience. It's very uplifting, actually.
Absolutely. Think about your own Thanksgiving. You do that, and then when you go home that night to have your own family meal, what are you talking about? You're talking about the service you just gave back to others.
Actually, I misspoke. It's a Christmas turkey meal at these restaurants, and it's wonderful, and it's the same
effect.
Same impact. Absolutely. So these volunteers are not staff members of Independence at Home. These are all non-paid volunteers that each year you can count on them to be part of the Thanksgiving program.
Correct. Actually, SCAN employees, a lot of them who don't work in our area do volunteer, but the majority of our volunteers are coming from the community at large. Churches, individuals, groups from other corporations all gather every single year.
That's wonderful. Well, in the next segment, we want to get up close and personal with Denise and also find out what the future may hold for Independence at Home. We'll be right back.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry.
Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Yeah, but if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember, Polly's, 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
When I was a boy growing up in Italy, I had a dream to own my own store. I came to the United States and I worked hard as a tailor. Hi, I'm Umberto. I've been in Long Beach since 1960, carrying the finest quality men's clothing. Italy's a long way away, but styles are just around the corner. Umberto, 2141 Bellflower, Long Beach.
When you have enough internet speed for everyone in your home, Mom can video chat with Grandma. Your daughter can check her favorite sites. Your son can conquer the galaxy. And you'll still have enough bandwidth to conquer your first warrior pose.
I'm alright. As you further energize your back, drop.
Get internet speed starting at 60 megabits per second with Charter Spectrum. Where will it take you?
We're back continuing a conversation with Denise Likar, Vice President of Independence at Home. Denise, you joined Independence at Home in 2002. You've been there for 14 years. Just give us a feeling of your emotional reaction to that experience?
So, Art, by training, I'm a social worker, so coming to Independence at Home was a natural fit. I've always identified the older adult population as a population that often gets forgotten and doesn't always have someone to have a voice for them. So coming to Independence at Home as a case manager, where I started in one of their contract programs, and then quickly moving into leadership roles to help shape our future of service to older adults, has been absolutely amazing. It's my passion, and I get to do my passion every day for a living.
You're a lucky person that can do that and find the right fit for what moves you internally. It just occurred to me that, families used to take care of a lot of this, and maybe still do in some cultures, but we've lost in America in many areas that tight-knit sense of family, and people move and they move away from relatives. I suppose in other days gone by, and maybe in other countries still today, the family plays more of a role in providing this.
Yeah, we've really seen the face of older adults in this country change. We also see a lot more single older adults that didn't have children, or in situations where actually the parents have outlived their children and their other relatives. It's an interesting phenomenon in terms of the change of society in our own country.
And another thought just occurred to me. With the medical advances, we have more seniors.
We do, the largest population, and
here comes ARP. They're marching across the country.
And it's a growing population, and more demand is going to be for help me navigate this. Look how the complexities of Medicare, the complexities of the social system. How do I get these things? Services like Independence at Home will need to be there, even if it's just to take the phone call and help the person just start. Where do I start?
And really, when you think about it, it's not just the quantity of life, the number of years, it's the quality of life.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you have a long life, but you want it to be with a good life quality.
Absolutely. Art, I often tell a story when I present in the community that no one really sits and looks at retirement and says, oh, my golden years. We say we want to travel. We say we want to do those, get around and do those things and see the world. But we never really say, what if I have a stroke at 75? Or what if I get a medical diagnosis that's going to decrease my ability to get around? And so since we haven't planned for that, when that happens, they need somewhere to turn. They need someone to help them guide and navigate and be able to figure out as they're dealing with all of these changes, how do I approach this so that I can be at home, because I don't want to be in an institution.
And you guys are professionals in knowing about that and handling it and giving good advice.
Absolutely. We've been doing it for 37 years.
Wow. Well, let's look to the future for a moment, Denise. Obviously, IAH is going on 4 cylinders or 8 cylinders now, and with infusion of money from SCAN. But what do you see happening in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think the demand for our services is just going to grow, and I believe that the company is on track in order to support that growth. It's not going to get easier out there. The system will continue to be very complex, and that web of how do I get help when I need it, and I see us poised to continue to serve that need and meet that call in society.
With the increasing government involvement in delivery of medical services, just navigating through the system for reimbursement can be challenging.
Right, and so the health plan deals with that on an everyday basis with their members, and what we're dealing with is the person that's just in the community, dealing with how do I get my rent paid and deal with getting my medical care and getting my prescriptions, and that social aspect of all the components that revolve around the medical system.
And Independence at Home has a range of experts and expertise to deal with that wide variety of problems.
Absolutely. We have a multidisciplinary team. So we have gerontologists, social workers, pharmacists, mental health professionals, and resource navigators who specifically trained to be able to meet the person where they're at and figure out how to help them.
I remember in one of your brochures, there was a picture of a pile. It must have been 20 of these pill things, and it was sitting on a table, and the person was just looking at it, and you realize the opportunity for conflicting drugs that can create serious problems or wrong dosages is there.
Absolutely. You know, there's this assumption that once somebody picks up a prescription from the pharmacy, they automatically know how to handle it. But the piece that's missing is when that person gets home, and as we were talking previously about if there's any changes in them from the aging process, and maybe forgetful, or maybe it's just plain being overwhelmed, and they're trying to matriculate that in to the rest of their medical care. Yeah. Somebody sometimes needs to sit there with them and help do that. We have this kind of assumption that they'll get it just because it was explained to them for a minute at a pharmacy counter. It doesn't always work that way.
As a professor for over 30 years, I can tell you, just because you teach something, they don't always get it.
Absolutely, and we fill that gap for these seniors.
Yeah.
We bring that to their home.
Okay. We'll be back with the rest of our show after these messages.
Phil Trainees mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Trainees, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Trainees.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
There's a world of opportunity available through the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach. Would you like to move ahead in the field of human resources and personnel management? Sign up for the Human Resources Management Certificate Program. You'll learn how to expand your knowledge and skills and advance in this dynamic industry. For more information, contact the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach.
You've been planning this moment for a long time. It couldn't be a more perfect moment. And you have the perfect ring that will tell her, I want to love you forever. But nothing is perfect.
Don't listen to that guy. He got the ring at McCarty's.
McCarty's makes a moment.
I think that Long Beach is very fortunate in having had SCAN as a member of the community and Independence at Home as part of SCAN for the last 37 years. That it has improved the health of the community, and the health of the community helps the city accomplish more. So thank you for what you've been doing for so many years.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be a part of such a wonderful network and such support from the community level. People just find their way to us by word of mouth. We've been doing this so long because somebody will say, help me, and I don't know where to turn. And next thing you know, there they are on our doorstep or on our phone line. Yeah. And we encourage anybody who wants to get involved as a volunteer, or if it's somebody who needs some help and wants to call us, we're here to serve. And I appreciate shows like this and the opportunity to get the word out.
Thank you so much. And your passion comes through loud and clear.
That's good.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, and please be with us next week for the next edition of Straight Talk. Good night, everyone.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by the Port of Long Beach, the Press Telegram, and SCAN Health Plan. And remember, Straight Talk is viewable 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.